All right. I think we're back. We're ready. We're good. Oops. Motherfucker. Hey, all right. Game of Thrones, man. Game of Thrones. Been gone forever. The season 6 ended over a year ago. Well, about a year ago. You're here for the dancing robot? Dude, here you go. Dance. So what'd you think? Who watched? Who watched the episode? I yes, it absolutely laid groundwork needed for a fast-paced season because they got to take care of a lot of stuff, you know? They have to. Daenerys has landed. She has officially landed on the mainland. Yo, what's up, Stanley guy? So Daenerys has officially landed on the on mainland. So that is a big deal. She is ready to basically fuck shit up. I mean, no other sense of the word. But Arya's line, I just want to read Arya's line in the very beginning because I think that was an amazing line, and I think it set the stage for what Arya is about to do. When people ask what happens here, tell them that the North remembers. Tell them winter has come for House Frey. Fucking great, Arya. Arya putting in work. I loved it. In one swoop, she red weddinged. You've never watched an episode of this show? Dude, if you love boobs, blood, and dragons, you would fucking love this show. And now zombies. Same. You absolutely should. It's really freaking good. It's, I would say it's the pinnacle of nerd fantasy. But I mean, so there's so much. So obviously, Arya lands in you know, and she really starts going off and meets Ed Sheeran. What the fuck was up with that? Shall we begin? But how random was it for Ed Sheeran to be in this random group of Lannister army men just in the middle of the fucking woods? If there's no elves, I'm out. There are elf-like creatures, but that was weird. So Ed Sheeran, of course, he's fucking singing, because of course. But I thought that was interesting. So we'll talk a little bit about Arya first, only because she played a very important part in the beginning, and then kind of was only seen a little later on. So you definitely see that things are laying down a plan for her to do some stuff later on in the future. So the fact that, you know, right off the bat, the cold open, she pops in, she pretends to be Professor Filch there, and this makes, 5 Harry Potter cast members? So she, I knew not to defeat the goddamn elves. So she kills Filch in the last season. So in this season now, she pretends to be Filch, invites the whole Frey clan in, and then poisons the shit out of them, and everybody dies. So that was the opening of the episode. So there's a lot to that. So obviously, Walder Frey is one of the people on her list. So that's a big deal. So she's starting to really knock down her list at the moment, which I think is big because we're really starting to see her pick up pace. She looks a lot older. She's acting a lot older. She looks like she more has a plan. She's more confident. I really think you're going to see Here's the unfortunate part about this. Just from seeing this part of the episode, I think you're going to see the death of Arya Stark in this season. I think it's inevitable. I think she's going to rip through the majority of her people, but I think in the end, she is going to get to Cersei Lannister, and she will die at the hands of a Lannister. Whether it's Cersei or whether it is Jaime, I don't think that she is going to get to kill Cersei. I just don't think that is how this ends. You will cry and be very mad. I know, but it's going to happen. They've basically set it up. As far as I'm concerned, the opening scene of this episode convinced me that Arya Stark is fucking getting killed. Yes, Dinklebot is still around. We're going to get to him in a minute. So that was Arya Stark. So she's on a plan. She's a very small part. She didn't really get to do a lot during this episode, although what she did was important, killing the Freys, because that was important for hurting the Lannisters. So next up, we see the White Walkers. So the White Walkers are definitely on the move. They've got some giants with them. They're raiding the wall. And from what we've learned from a few other aspects is they may actually be kind of skirting around the wall and hitting to Dragonstone, which is where basically the wall ends, right? If I remember that correctly. So I think you're going to see some clash between Daenerys Targaryen and everybody and the White Walkers right at the wall. So I think that's going to be a big deal for that. And the White Walkers obviously are going to be a looming threat for this season. Come here, little dog. The White Walkers are going to be a looming threat for this season. I would venture a bet that they are not going to be the finale of this season, but they probably will take a large portion of the middle to the end of this. I think you're going to see a couple episodes of the war with the White Walkers, or maybe the last episode is going to be all White Walkers because that's when the White Walkers will finally get there. Which, by the way, if we want to jump to Sam Tarly there. Seeing the child gave us a little bit of context of how many years it's been since we've last seen Sam. So when we last saw Sam and what's her name there, and they get to the keep or to the place where he's learning to be a maester. The child was a baby, he was maybe less than a year old, and at this point, like, he's standing walking around, he's got to be at least 2 to 3 years old. So we can only assume it has been somewhere around 2 to 3 years since the end of the last episode, that it hasn't just ended, that some things have happened. And there was a couple other things that did that. So like in the very end, the Hound, when we get back to, we see the Hound at that house. Of the family that him and Arya were with, and they died, the father and daughter, we see that their bodies have decayed a lot, so we can only assume that it has been years, because that was a couple of years ago as well. So it's probably been somewhere in the midst of 3 to 4 years, maybe upwards to 5 since our last episode. So we've had that. So we got Samwell. So Sam's in there, and he starts doing his research. We see he's literally hanging out with Professor Slughorn. How is that? So Professor Slughorn from Harry Potter is playing one of the maesters that Sam Tarly is hanging out with and learning from. And as always with Professor Slughorn, he lets slip certain aspects about what he believes and what might help out Tarly. So this is Horcruxes all over again. So in this case, though, the Horcrux is the good thing, and that is that Dragonstone is literally a mountain of stone of dragon glass, which is the only weapon known to kill the White Walkers. So Sam is going to get that message over to Jon Snow, who is building an army of everybody, boys and girls. I mean, hey, the Doctor is a girl now, so girls can fight in fantasy wars against zombies, right? It's that kind of world. So, yeah, Sam is going to send a raven out to Jon Snow to let him know that he knows where there's an ample supply of dragon glass. All right, so we got through the White Walkers. We got Arya. So Brandon has reached the wall, and that's about it. Brandon gets to the wall. They didn't really say anything about Brandon after that, but we just know they fight or die anyways. To be honest, I mean, true. So we know Brandon has made it to the wall. We know that the people on the wall believe him, and he is going to start warning them that the White Walkers are coming. Can we talk about Tormund for a minute? Tormund and Brienne of Tarth? Dude, he is thirsty as fuck. He wants it so bad. And it's fucking hilarious to watch him flirt with her all over the place. Tormund is the wildling with the really big red beard. Brienne of Tarth, the very tall blonde Captain Phasma in Star Wars, in the upcoming Star Wars movies as well. They go, fuck. I don't know. I'm still not 100% convinced that she is going to fall for him. I feel like she still has this passion for Jaime Lannister that she's holding dear. So I am not 100% convinced that they're going to get together, although I would not be surprised. But I am not convinced. I still think she carries a flame for Jaime Lannister. I do. But yes, dude, it's so funny watching him hit on her. And I thought that was very interesting. Alright, so we're going over Slam. Okay, I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to put it out there. We don't need to discuss any other aspect about it. But Lady fucking Mormont. Lady fucking Mormont. Yo, she is badass as fuck. Dude, Lady Mormont. Alright. Alright, let's get into the big dudes and dudettes. So, Jon Snow. So, Jon Snow is very White Walker focused. You can tell that this is that, you know, it's not about name, it's not about land, it's not about honor or his family. At this point in time, Jon Snow's sole focus is stopping the White Walkers. So we know that Jon Snow is going to be focused on building an army to stop that because he sees that as the greatest threat, which, I mean, is really, you know, the Lannisters are scattered. You know, they're going to fight their little battles here and there, but there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of White Walkers who seemingly can't die, and every time they kill one of your army men, they now have another one of their members. So how do you kill an army that can keep refilling its ranks? So obviously this is going to be a big focus, and I think that, you know, Jon Snow he's kind of learning to be king in this aspect because he is trying to get people to trust him and follow him who don't 100% believe that the White Walkers are the greatest threat. So not only is he trying to overcome the fact that he is a bastard, that his entire family is dead, were considered traitors. A lot of his bannermen and people have betrayed him. They've jumped to the Lannister side when they saw that the North was losing. They just got their castle back, so like they're still kind of, you know, the North, even though it remembers, is still kind of getting his shit together. Yeah, and it's now Jon has to deal with Tyrion and Daenerys to get to that Dragonglass, right? Which I'm hoping and assuming is that they will come together. I mean, Game of Thrones is called A Song of Fire and Ice, and Jon would be that ice, and Daenerys would be that fire. So I would assume that at some point they gonna, you know, get the P and V, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I think I think she's going to come up and be like, yo, I want to be queen, and here's my fucking dragon. And he's going to be like, yeah, I don't fucking care. I'm going to kill these White Walkers because that's all I care about. Like, you do you, babe. I'm going to go ahead and fight these fucking zombies. You go fuck up the Wonder Twins down in Westeros or whatever. But yeah, so he's learning to be king. We saw the misstep a little bit where Sansa kind of steps on his toes a little bit, and I think that was laying the groundwork for a disagreement that they're going to have. I think you're going to see a lot of that in the coming episodes. You're going to see Sansa kind of being like, well, what about me? And I guarantee at some point Sansa is going to drop the line of like, you know, I'm really a Stark. You're not a Stark. I'm actually a Stark. Because I feel like that seed is kind of in there. By the way, Sansa's line to fucking Littlefinger. No need to seal the last word. I'll assume it was something clever. How brilliant is that? How brilliant is that? Sansa is really coming to her own in this past season. Right, yes, and she kind of wants to be queen. I feel like she kind of feels like she is queen, and Jon Snow was just kind of like, it's almost like she feels like Jon Snow is just kind of cleaning up the mess for her to step in as queen. Yes, and that's what we'll learn. So Brandon will get to Winterfell, and he'll be like, "Yo, you're actually a Targaryen." Well, that will encourage the Daenerys Snow thing to happen, the Fire and Ice to happen, because the Targaryens were really big on incestuous relationships as well as the Lannisters. So there's nothing there. So by him doing that, though, if he marries Daenerys or they get together, now it's the North and the rest kind of getting all there. Right, Lyanna was a Stark, but the dad was a Targaryen, so he's got a little bit of both. So he has a somewhat claim on the throne for both. He can claim the North, he can claim the South as well. So there's that. So I truly think that that's going to happen. I think you're going to see them meet. I think he's going to find out he's a Targaryen, and they're going to talk that out. I do not think that they're going to be enemies in any way whatsoever. But we're seeing Sansa really starting to step up and lament the fact that she's not queen. I mean, don't forget that she has she has people pledging to her. She has people pledging to her that they will follow her as the queen in the North. So she's kind of got that chip on her shoulder about that, and I think Baelish is going to be in her ear. Littlefinger is going to be in her ear, being like, "Yes, but what if you were queen? I can make that happen." So like that shit's going to happen, Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an amazing season. It's Shaker. All right, so Sansa, the Hound. What a weird development of the story. Yeah, well, I mean, Littlefinger's the Gale is the or the Vale, Gale, the Vale are the reason, and because of Sansa. So like she's absolutely, and she already has started to, but she's absolutely going to hold that over Jon Snow's head. So the Hound, the whole Blackfish thing. So I kind of feel like he's kind of like a he's kind of like a monk on a journey, if you will. Like, I feel like the Hound is kind of like, it kind of started with Arya when he was wandering around with Arya, and he started to kind of get better and do the right thing. But now I really feel like he's atoning for his sins. I really feel like he's getting to the point where he's understanding all the bad shit that he's done, and he's like, dude, like, I don't want to live like that anymore. Like, I'm not just a Hound. I want to be Clegane again. Like, he really is going for it. And I think that's cool. I think it's really great to see him have a change of heart, to have him have compassion, to see him have empathy. Yeah, that he was just going to go back to being the Hound. I mean, honestly, I thought he was just going to die, But he's really turned around, and I think you're going to see him... outside of this whole little cult thing that he's in, I think you're going to see him step up and do something really good. Like, he is going to step in and he's going to take the blade for somebody or kill somebody important. Like, he's going to be a character that's going to surprise you later in the season, where I think he's going to really do something crazy. So there's that. So then we get to Cersei. So Cersei, I don't know. I always love how confident and planning Cersei seems. Like, she always seems like she knows what she's doing and thinking, and she's always, the whole 4D chess thing where she's several moves ahead. But honestly, I thought at this moment, like, she's grasping for straws. I really feel like, Jaime Lannister at this point just died, bitch. Yeah, for serious. At this point, Jaime Lannister is kind of the voice of reason, being like, "Hey, Cersei, so we don't have any army, and nobody likes us anymore, and we're kind of starving, so maybe we should kind of regroup and figure this out. Like, all our kids are dead, all our family's dead, and our much smarter brother is now leading an army of fucking dragons to come and kill us, and trained killers." So I feel like Cersei's getting a little cocky, the hubris, if you will, Cersei. But the Greyjoy thing, that's going to fuck some people up. I foresee the Greyjoy thing, as much as I want Euron Greyjoy, because his name's fucking Euron. Like, it's Euron. but it's fucking Urine. Urine Big Cock Greyjoy. Dude, I want that guy to just get fucked up. Like, dude, F that guy. For real. I'm not into it. When Cersei turned him down, I was super happy because I just don't think that, like, he's just a shitty dude, and I don't think he deserves any screen time as a character. Because he's basically just a hired thug. But he's Ed Sheeran for King, right? But Euron Greyjoy, he's gonna do something bad. Like he's gonna like kill a dragon or something. Like he's gonna do something. Maybe he'll bring Tyrion into the Lannisters. Like he's gonna do something pretty rough that's gonna knock the Targaryen side of it down a little bit. But I would love to see. Yes, I would love to see the other Greyjoys come in and really fuck his shit up and not allow him to do anything. But Cersei, I don't know. She's scrambling at the moment. She is, she really is, as Sharon looks like a Fraggle. He 100% looks like a Fraggle. Yes. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I think Cersei's got some trouble brewing for her. Absolutely. I don't think this is going to end well for her. But I just don't foresee her dying this season, only because she is the main... Outside the White Walkers, she's the main antagonist of the fucking series, you know? Like, if she dies 2 episodes from now, who are they fighting aside from White Walkers, you know? Like, that's about it. So, like, we're running out of people that are main characters. So if you look at it from a writing standpoint... The Lannisters aren't dying anytime soon. They just aren't. It's not happening. So with that in mind, it kind of... Right. It kind of puts a dampen on things, knowing that that's not going to happen. I mean, maybe next season, maybe the end of the season. I could see it for the end of the season that she dies. But there's no fucking way that she dies anytime between now and the season finale. Right, that would pretty much end Arya Stark's storyline. She would be like, I'm here to kill the queen. Oh, well, she's dead. I mean, unless she kills the queen, cool. But again, what happens if Cersei Lannister dies? If Cersei Lannister dies episode 3, what the fuck do you do for another 7 episodes? You know? Like, what is left at that point? Nothing. Cersei cannot die anytime outside of a season finale or a series finale. Right, I mean, even that, like, it's just done. It's over. And then, we have Daenerys. So Daenerys has finally landed at Dragonstone. She's home. We saw that scene where she lays her hand down in the sand. That was like her, yeah. I'm home, boobs, that's what's left. Yeah, and there was none in this episode. But it should absolutely be a long process. It should be a battle. Like, she can't sneak up on her and slice her throat with a mask on. She can't poison her or something like that. Like, that has to be a fucking battle. I want to see Arya Stark fight Jaime Lannister. Like, I want to see a sword fight between Arya Stark and Jaime Lannister, that they fucking go at it. If her or Jaime was born first, because the prophecy said that her younger brother kills her, right? I think it was she was born first and then him, because I think they were born and they were holding hands or whatever. But that being said, Tyrion is the younger brother of them. Tyrion is the baby of the family. He was born well after Jaime and Cersei, so there's that as well. So we still have Tyrion as a possibility. Yeah. So Bowling for Penguin saying that Cersei, return or that Arya returns and goes to Winterfell is a distinct possibility. Absolutely. And then there's if she's like, oh my God, Jon and Sansa are alive, I'm going to go back to there. I don't see her abandoning her plans anytime soon, though. She's so focused that I think the only thing outside of, as you mentioned, failure is going to send her back to Winterfell, because she's almost there. She's on her way to King's Landing. Like, she will get there within an episode or 2, in theory. So I don't know. I don't know about that. I would be I would be surprised if she kind of gave up on her plan or set it off to do something else. But you never know. I really think that Arya Stark is going to be a big focal point. She's going to be the underground for a lot of this. Because, I mean, who else does she have left to kill? She's got Walder Frey. She killed, what's his dick there last season. She killed the little fat kid that tortured her. So, I mean, all she has left is Jaime Lannister, Cersei Lannister, Tyrion, and who else? I think that's it, right? And the Hound. Yep, and then the Hound. So, yeah, so she has maybe the Hound. But yeah, so I mean, like, she's running low on her list, and I know Cersei Lannister is on her list. Joffrey's already dead. There's a few people kind of already dead that were on her list. So she's there. She's ready to kind of get the final ones. But I just feel like I could see her fighting Jaime Lannister and maybe losing to Jaime Lannister. Maybe Jaime Lannister kills her. I could absolutely see that happening. Jaime Lannister takes her down, and that's where her journey ends. Because Jaime Lannister is a great swordsman, but I could see him having sympathy and maybe just wounding her and letting her go. Like, he's done that before, so like there's that distinct possibility as well. So what else? What else was good about this episode? For me, I think the call-out moments were Arya in the beginning, and the fact that Arya is now on a mission to kill Cersei Lannister. I think the Sansa Jon Snow dynamic is important. I think that's going to cause for a lot of missteps in the future. I think the Hound thing is going to be interesting because in the books, the Lord of the Blackfish. Or the Blackfish thing is the ghost of Catelyn Stark coming back to seek revenge. So there's that. That's something that I don't think we should rule out, because that could be what exactly the whole look into the fire type thing, the Lord of Light. Melisandre, the woman in red, is heading south. Maybe she runs into the Hound. Maybe that becomes something there, That's kind of in that same realm. The Return to Dragonstone was absolutely shot perfectly. It was, very long shots, very empty. There was not a lot of dialogue. I loved that. I loved that there wasn't a lot of dialogue. I loved that we really had the opportunity to take in the emotion of her returning home, this triumphant return home, and the fact that there's no conflict at her castle, because this is it. Like, this is the start of the big battle of Daenerys Stormborn, Mother of Dragons, Khaleesi of the whatever, and Stormborn of the shit sluts, and Hound Riders or whatever. She's gonna get in there, and you're gonna see her really let loose. You're gonna see her army really get put to work. So that's what I had. That's kind of the recap of this episode. What do you guys think? Is there something more we should talk about that you feel is important that we should bring up? Outside of Lady fucking Mormont being a badass and having bigger balls than the rest of the dudes. The names do get so long, and every season Daenerys adds another tagline to her shit. Now she's going to be, first of the Dragonstone, and it's just going to be too much. It's going to be a little too much. Lady motherfucking Mormont. Yeah, obviously, that's who it should be. She's fucking great. I loved her last season. I love her this season. Yes, it is interesting they show Jorah Mormont still alive. Yep, the fact that they brought him up is important, I think. I think you are going to see a reunion of sorts, maybe. I could see that, absolutely. That could be really important. One tiny little thing that we didn't mention was with Sam Tarly at the Maester place, is that guy in the very end, when he reaches his hand out, and you see he has all those dragon scales on him like the little girl did, and he asks if Daenerys has landed. I think that's super important. I think that's something that is going to be a big reveal. Absolutely. Everything goes back to Littlefinger and what he's done. Yes. Jesus Christ. Oh, that was Jorah. Yeah, that's Jorah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So in referencing Jorah, that's Jorah. That's important. And the fact that he's there. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Duh. But yeah, so that's going to be, I think that's going to be a big deal. I think whatever that's going to happen, or whatever that is alluding to, or what's happening to him, I think is going to be something super important, because that's White Walker shit on him, right? Isn't that what happened, or what did he get poisoned with? I don't remember from last season. I had to go for a while because I farted to sit in the room. I still smell it. Yes, he needs to find a cure, or we'll see what happens with him, Absolutely. He could, it could turn him to stone, it could turn him into a dragon, it could turn him into a monster. We don't even know. Some rock disease? Yo, this shit's rocking me. Haha. But yeah, that's gonna be big. And Littlefinger, and I feel like it's time for... the spider, I forget his name in real life, or in the show, but the spider needs to kind of unravel, because he's been doing a lot of little things, and we kind of get these little hints of who he is and what he is, but Varys, yes, Varys, something's gonna go down with Varys. I think we need to learn a chunk of his backstory, or at least learn what exactly it is that he is doing right now, because he is setting some stuff up. Because don't forget, we still have all the what'd she call them, the dirty cunts of Dorne or something like that. We have all those, that whole plot line still going, and he has a hand in that as well. So that's still happening. So we need to, that's got to unravel. There's something's going to happen with that. They're going to come busting in. We're going to have armies everywhere all fighting each other trying to claim the throne again. Oh yeah, that's right. The things that attack them. Yeah. Crazy. All right. Cool. Good episode. Good first episode, guys. What do you think? Any last thoughts? I think the next episode is going to be cool. I think you're going to see it kind of lay low. Yeah, you see that Queen of Dorne getting it on with Yara Great. Yeah. Yeah. Man, shit's getting real. It's stronger than Febreze. It lives in you, my friend. It's following you. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that was all. I just wanted to pop in and get your thoughts on the season premiere of Game of Thrones. You know what? Every Sunday we're going to come back and we are going to recap the episode and these tiny little things, just so we can chat about them and recap, man. And this will be available as a vodcast. So if you want to watch it again right before the episode, just to kind of get a recap, just pop back in onto my Twitch channel and it'll be available. And I might export it out and put it on YouTube as well, but I might leave it on Twitch just because, Twitch. But hey, thanks for joining me, guys, for this short little stream. I super appreciate it. Destiny beta begins on Tuesday. My schedule is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to start streaming as soon as I possibly can, which will be about 6 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm going to stream for as long as I can, but I have to be up super, super early those days. Thursday, we're going to be late. We're going to start streaming right around 8-ish and stream only for a couple hours. And Friday, we will be streaming literally all day, 8 to 5. All day long, and then we'll probably stream some more Friday night. Saturday night, we're going to do some PvP, and Sunday, I'll see you at the farm, my friends. And then if the beta gets extended, we'll go from there. But until then, I will see you guys possibly tomorrow night, where we'll just hang out and shoot some shit, maybe do some PUBG or Overwatch. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much for coming out, and enjoy Game of Thrones Season 7.